So this is the new iPad Pro M4. And for being an iPad, it is magical. Just magical. I remember years ago, Steve Jobs got up on stage with the original iPad, and he said he visioned that the iPad was just a sheet of glass that can just do everything. Here we are 15 years later on, and it is exactly that. This is the best iPad or best tablet out there right now, and it shines everywhere. Join me on this experience today as I tell you more about this magical device. Starting out with the unboxing, I have the UK version, so inside the box we literally have the iPad. No charger included, and this will be the same for the EU version, but you lucky people elsewhere in the world, well, you get one. The iPad comes in a paper wrap, and the moment that you hold it, it just feels perfect. Now you have to excuse me that I've not recorded this video in HDR, but seeing the screen has to be believed. The colours just pop. Everything is vibrant perfectly. I have never seen anything quite like this in a mobile device. I remember looking back at the leaks and everything, telling us that this would be the best OLED display in the industry, and they were not wrong. If you want your content to look its best, then this is the iPad to get. It is absolutely stunning. Now, some of those early reviews out there said there's some problems with the panel, and you can read more into that if you want to, but I've not noticed any problems with the screen whatsoever. And I just love how Netflix and say Disney videos look the best I've ever seen on a portable device. The screen is just on another level. Apple have achieved this new OLED display, and they call it the new Ultra Retina XDR display. And even though we got delays of this iPad coming, and mainly the reason was down to the OLED display, it has been worth waiting to get it this long and getting this tandem OLED inside of it. The brightness, even taking outside on a bright day, looks as perfect as, say, my iPhone 15 Pro Max in viewing. I love it. Oh, and by the way, just in case you're wondering about sound is about as good as the last iPad Pro out there. But let's talk about the next main big feature inside this iPad, and that's all to do with that chipset. And I've not seen much difference, say, between this and the previous M2 iPad Pro, and even the new iPad Air like we have right here with the M2 inside of it. And I will actually be making a video very soon comparing both of these models, so make sure you subscribe to this channel and also that notification bell, because you won't want to miss out on this video when I'm going to compare both of these new iPads. Of course, I can show you GeekBench 6 benchmark scores, what I ran on this iPad Pro with the M4, and as you can see right here in this chart, obviously the M4 is far faster than the M2. But that is the ultimate question. Do you need this much power inside of an iPad? And also, just in case you're wondering about heat, well, as you can see here, it's not really an issue, as Apple even claimed, they said that they've got some new thermal ways with the chip, and obviously you can see just by running a stupid sort of compute benchmark test here, it's not getting overly hot. Realistically, you're not going to probably push the iPad to that kind of heat level for a long amount of time. But even with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, for my needs and quite a lot of people's needs, this iPad Pro, the baseline one, is more than perfect for you. And the main reason behind that is because of the lightweight iPadOS. Now, love it or hate it iPadOS on the iPad, I have not noticed any major slowdowns with opening loads of tabs opening, editing a document or anything like that, even in split screen. Even editing videos, as you can imagine, is as fast as, say, doing it on an M3 MacBook Pro or Air. You can plug in devices like before, that is good because it has USB 4, what gives you up to 40 gigabits per second transfer speeds. But to be fair, the last iPad Pro could do all of that, and so can this iPad Air that we have right here. It's more than capable on either of these devices. But I think this is the point here. If you want the best of the best iPad, then this iPad Pro is truly the one to get. The iPad Pro is also slimmer this time round. It's about 1mm slimmer, and to be deadly honest, I've not really noticed it when I'm actually holding it or anything like that. But there again, I can understand that Apple are aiming for this device to be a magical sheet of glass or a sheet of paper, so being thinner, I can understand why they have actually done this, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with this. Apple claim that we also get the same 10 hours of battery life just like before, but I feel that if we had the old thickness and that had stayed, then we may be getting 12 to 13 hours battery life now instead. It seems like Apple put the priority of the thickness over battery life in their heads here. And for them, 10 hours of battery is enough, even though the likes of a MacBook Air can give us 18 hours and some Pro models can even give us more. As you can also imagine, the cameras on here are also quite good. On the rear, we now have only one lens, and this is good as say as a normal iPhone 14 wide lens that we had on that phone, as it's a 12 megapixel with a 1.8 aperture. It is also useful to have the center stage camera too in horizontal, and it just feels as good as any of the other center stage cameras out there. The new Apple Pencil Pro is also perfect too. As not much of an artist, I've had a lot of fun with it, and I can imagine that lots of artists, pros out there who want a device with loads of functions and shortcuts, this is going to be the perfect pen for them. But my favourite feature actually on the Apple Pencil Pro is now the Find Me option, so if you do drop this down the side of the couch or whatever, you can actually find it, no problems. There is also the new Magic Keyboard. It comes in a few new colours for the iPad with the function keys now added at last. And if there is one negative out there, I would say it's all to do with iPadOS. And the main reason why I talk about that is this here is the iPad 10th generation. And everything what you can practically do on this iPad here, you can do it on this iPad here for $350 now. That's right, so the price of the 13-inch Magic Keyboard is the same price as this iPad here. And in fact, you can buy 3 of these iPads and it will cost you about $50 more than just buying one 11-inch iPad Pro. And literally, apart from maybe that OLED display, 2 more extra speakers, and also the use with that Apple Pencil or maybe a slightly faster USB-C port too, really there's not much difference. The main sort of functions what you can do on this iPad here is exactly the same that you can do on this iPad right here. And to me, that is the big problem. But I will leave it on this. If you are a person who wants to have the best of the best iPad experience out there, and believe me, this is truly a magical iPad in hardware, then this is the one for you. And with that, will you guys be getting yourself a new iPad Pro, or have you got yourself a new iPad Pro on order already? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you're planning to get yourself a new iPad this year and what model you're probably intending on getting. And with that as well, guys, if you have enjoyed watching this video, please do press the like button. You also want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons. Please also make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.